Yo. Alright, so the next thing you want to do after you have the bones in place, every limb and the torso and head have bones, so I'm going to unfreeze everything so we can now attach these objects. So how you do that is very specific. You want to attach the object to the bone every step of the way. So you do that with this chain, so it's called select and link. And you click this, so now I'm going to go to this cylinder. I'm going to click on it and drag the mouse. So click and hold your left mouse button down, and I'm dragging it to the bone right there, and I'm going to let go. You'll see a yellow silhouette if you've done it correctly. Now I'm just going to go on to this section, click on it, and drag it down. Now since I only have two elements that make up the arm, this section and this section, I'm good to move on. And now I'm going to go on to this. It's the easiest to do this in wireframe mode. So again, making sure I click on this correctly, dragging it to the bone. So cylinder, click and drag to the bone. And that's done. And now I'm going to do each one of the legs. So cylinder to bone, cylinder to bone, and then you got to do the foot. The foot in this case is a cylinder, so cylinder to the foot bone. And now I'm going to do that again. It doesn't matter what order you do this. You can go from the foot up to the hip. You can do it for the hip like I'm doing down to the foot. Doesn't matter in the hierarchy scheme of linking. Does not matter at all. The only thing that does matter is that you click on the object first and that you click on the bone second. So now I need to do... And if you have hose arms or hose legs, we're going to attach this through something called a skin modifier. So we're not going to do anything to this yet. So if you have limbs that are one object, a cylinder or a hose or otherwise, just go ahead and bear with me towards a little different part of the video. So now I'm going to link this bone to the box, and then there's a bone inside of the sphere. So click on this. Ah, crap. I did it backwards. So I need to do the box to the bone. I may have just messed up one of the bones, but that's alright. I can go back and fix it later. Okay, now I'm going to link the box to the bone. And in here, link the head to this last little nub. It is very important that you do the object to the bone. If you do the bone to the object, it is not going to work correctly. So all you have to do is go back, maybe delete the bones, do it again. It's not a big deal. So now what I'm going to do is I need to add a solver to this bone. So what I'm going to do is get out of this chain, and I'm going to click the move tool. You can press W, and I'm going to select the nub. I'm going to do this for the arms, the feet, and the head. So you want to select the nub, go to animation, IK solver, IK limb solver, and you're going to click on the very first bone. That would be this bone in this system here. So I'm going to do that for each one of these. It creates a little handle that once you grab the handle, you can move the handle around and the attached objects will move around like a puppet. So now animation again, IK solver, IK limb solver, click on the very first bone in that section. You want to make sure that you're clicking the correct bone. If you click a different bone, it's going to have a solver that does not make sense, and you do not want that. And the legs are a little different. I'm going to select the foot bone. I don't want the feet to rotate independently of the leg. You can do that, and I'll show you how to do that, but I'm not going to do that for this robot, but I will actually show you how to do that. So to get one that operates this foot here, I'm clicking on the foot bone and not the nub, and I'm going to IK solvers, IK limb solver, and click on the very first bone. So now I have a handle here. If I wanted one for the foot, I would click on the end of the nub and go to animation, constraint, IK solvers, IK limb solver, and click on this right here, and then I would have a handle here that would now operate the foot. But I don't want to do that. I just want to keep it simple for this. So now when I click on this handle here, it's going to move the foot like this. Alright, so now I just want to go ahead and make sure that I do these correctly. So I'm clicking on the foot bone, go to animation, IK solver, IK limb solver, click on the correct hip bone here, and now I've got the handle there, got a handle here, got a handle here. Now I need one for the head, so I'm going to click on the nub inside of the head, And this might be an instance where I need to make the IK solver handle bigger. I don't think so. It should pop through this little thing right here. You can click on and go to the modify tab and increase the size, but in this instance I don't think I need to do that, so I'm going to go to IK solver, IK limb solver, and I'm going to click on the base bone right here inside of the sphere, click it, boom. Now I've got the IK solver, where's that at? Down here, which is not where I wanted. So it looks like that will work just fine. But if you wanted the head to move independently like I thought it was going to, you probably want to put a bone inside of the head and then have a nub sticking outside just like we did down here. But if you have questions with that, I will help you with that. I'm not going to go over that in this video. So now I'm going to do one for the tail. Even though the tail's not attached, I'm going to click on the nub and go to animation, IK solver, IK limb solver, and click on this right here. Now I'm getting a handle right here. So now in order to fix this, what I'm doing is clicking on the cylinder, and I need to attach a skin to this so I can put the bones inside of it. So I'm going to the modifier list over here. This doesn't have to be an editable poly. Click on the modifier list and I'm typing skin. So SKIN, here we go. Just type skin. And now I'm going to add bones. So you need to know what bones these are first in order to do so. So I'm going to click on the bone. Actually, if you just hover over the bone, it will tell you the name. So this, in this case, is bone 15. This is bone 16, and this is bone 17. I'm not sure I want bone 17 in this because it's outside of the cylinder, so we'll see how it works, how it looks, and then I'll go from there. So with the skin modifier selected, I click add, and now I'm going to go through the list and I'm going to add bones 15 and 16, holding control to select them both, and just click select. And now when I click out here on the handle, it should move. It should, there we go, move correctly, which it does. So that's how you would move the hose limbs. And now we have a problem. None of these objects are attached to one another. They're all just independent. So they all move around just fine, but now we need to link them together. And I'm going to do that in the next video. So this is the end of video 2.